What's the deal, my people? You know this Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you with another one. And this one is, what should we call this? I mean, I'll wait for Lamar. When she is here, we will call the show From Weekly. But she's not here right now. So we just called the Don Tony Teflon Rocking With You. Gotta do something real quick that I should have done before. So sorry if I'm doing this. Will take me 1 second though. It won't be too long. I promise you that. Hopefully, y'all are all having a good day. You had a great weekend. Everybody's doing good, feeling good. And we must change this to this setting right here. And we are good. All right. Now I can concentrate on rocking with you, my people, and everything else. What's going on? Let's get the banner going on the bottom. Let's get the phone line up in the air. You know what I mean? Right here. Let's put that on there. All right. Now we got everything the way we normally got it. Now I can concentrate on rocking with the people right here. What up to everybody out here? How everybody's going on? I'll be back tomorrow with LMR. This is supposed to be a Sunday stream, but then Sunday got busy for me, so I couldn't do it. So I didn't want to not give you a stream. So I'm gonna give you this stream today. And then I'll be back tomorrow with LMR, and we'll go over a lot of everything. Mostly, more stuff that you want to talk about, as always. But we'll talk about this. We'll talk about the writer's strike, and we'll talk about whatever you want to do after that. You know what I mean? So let's save it up to the people who are joining us right now. We got the Cocos in the building rocking with us right now. Talise Baratheon's mustache is up in here. Sullivan's is up in here. Carla Way is up in here. Tim is up in here. Alicia is in the building rocking with us. Delicious is up in us. Mustard Tiger is up in here. South London Reseller is in the building. King David is up in here. Nisha is up in here. Luna is up in here. Kinda Love Etsy is up in here. Piano Joe is in here. Thank you for everyone who's rocking with us and everything. We maintain a good audience here. Even with the show being off, which is hard to do, so I appreciate everybody here. And as long as we maintain, my girl Hannah, we have to give that her shout out without that. And she does the most in the building rocking with us right now. And Anna's in here. Let's give more shout outs right here and everything. Miss T up in there. Man, Ty is up in here too. Ed is in the building rocking with us too. Let's say what up to everyone. Jesse Rivera is in here too. All right. I spoke to Mika, our girl Mika. She's doing much better. Shout out to Mika. She's doing better. She'll be back in the chat, I'm sure, sooner than later. She's almost fully recovered from a sickness that she was dealing with, and when she should be back and everything else. You know what I mean? So one love to Mika. We miss you. Hopefully you'll be back. When you do come back, you'll be back better than ever. But until then, we'll be here holding down the fort for everybody. All right, so let's get right into it. Right now, we know that there's the writer's strike. First, we had the first strike first we had the writer's strike. Now we got the Screen Actor Guild strike. So let's break it down real quick. First off, why are they striking? Number one reason that they're striking is due to streaming. They feel like they're not being cut in on the streaming. The way streaming platforms dictate how many views they get or how popular actually a show is. It's all different across the board. So it's really hard to pinpoint exactly how many people are watching or how popular a show is. So it's hard for them to get the money. Now, the money is not coming from them. They're not getting any revenue from the streaming, and they want to cut up that revenue. Now, back in the day, you would get series with sitcoms. They would get 20 some odd shows a season, sometimes 25, 30 shows a season. Now the shows have been cut to 8 to 10 a season. So when back in the day when you had these type shows and you got these type numbers, if you went to syndication, which everybody wanted to go, and you had one of these shows, you most likely were set for life, and you would get a piece of the money, and you would never have to work again because there'd be so many episodes, you would get a piece of it, and that's the way it is. Now, the way they have moved stuff to streaming, and they don't have them on syndication like that, they're just moving things to Netflix and moving things to other channels. They're not privy to any of this money. So the actors want a piece of this money. Now, I'm going to say this real quick. We know that Fran Drescher is the head of the Screen Actors Guild right now. I would say I'm from Electchester in Queens. Fran Drescher is from my neighborhood in Queens. I remember seeing her when I was little, multiple times. I've spoken to her. She was friends with my mother. She used to speak to her. My neighborhood had a bunch of actors come out of it. If you ever seen the show Taxi, there's an actor named Judd Hurst. He is from Electchester. He's from my neighborhood where I grew up. The baseball player Bobby Bonilla. He is from my neighborhood where I grew up. I also had a bunch of rappers move to my neighborhood. When they got famous, we had Cool G Rap, we had MC Shan, we had Big Daddy Kane, I had Kid from Kid and Play. All these people and Salt and Pepper all lived in my neighborhood when I grew up. Right? I've seen these people every day. It became to the point where they were just regular people around the way. Again, also my friend Christopher Scott Cerrone, he plays Ray Liotta's character in Goodfellas when he's young. All right. So just letting you know that I want to just disclose everything. So before people saying, oh, you only backing the natty because she's from your neighborhood and you didn't tell us that she was from your neighborhood. That's not the case. You know what I mean? I'm just putting it out here exactly what's going on from what I know about it and everything else so that you know everything that I'm talking about here. All right. So that's the way it is. I myself support the actors in this. I do believe the studios are being greedy. And usually that's where it comes from. Most of it is greed. Now, in the end, what we want to know is this going to affect from and will it affect the from airing next year? And the answer is no, I don't believe it will, because this is mostly for the United States, the actors in the United States. And since From's cast is mainly from Canada, now, since Harold is in the United States and he is the main character, I do believe that he will not be shooting any scenes at all. But could they go and shoot the other scenes that Harold's not in with the cast that's from Canada? They definitely could do that. House of the Dragon is continuing production right now and is not affected by this strike because most of the people on the strike on the show are from England and not the United States. So House of the Dragon is going on as scheduled. So From is going to be, I would say, similarly in a similar situation where a lot of the actors are from Canada, so they'll be able to shoot. But since Harold is the main character, he's from the United States, he will not be shooting any of the scenes. So most likely it would be delayed, but not as delayed. Again, they could shoot every scene that he's not in. They can do work around all that and then come back and then do all of the Harold scenes after. So that's where most likely it's going to stand with them and everything else. I think that the show will be slightly delayed. I don't think it's going to be majorly delayed. I think, if it was going to come out, let's just say April, come out earlier than that. Let's just say April 1st. It may drop, May 1st. I don't think it's going to be majorly delayed because of that. Again, it's an easy workaround as long as you can shoot the scenes without Harold. The Harold needs to be in. They can keep everything. I think that's the way it would be going and everything else. You know what I mean? Gene says House of the Dragon are scabbing. There's no doubt. Well, if you want to consider that, I can understand it. And it's true. They are shooting that show. That show is not stopping whatsoever. Again, because most of the actors are from England, so they don't have to go against this and everything else. You know what I mean? So that's just the way it is with them. And I think that From probably will be doing the same thing. I haven't spoken directly to anyone about this. I mean, I could have probably contacted Liz and everything else. So I don't know and everything else. So I have no idea if that is the way it's actually going to go. This is just my speculation of how it's going to go and everything else. Now, again, if They are from Canada. They are not affected by the strike. That is the truth. That is what it is. Again, Harold's the main character in the show. The actors could show Sarah Dell, be solid around Howard and say, yo, if he's not going to be here and he's Harold, sorry, and he's not going to be here, we're not going to shoot. And it could be a situation like that. Or the people can say, we're going to shoot without, shoot the scenes without him and do it that way. So it could be one or either way. I'm not on the set. I have no idea what's going on unless you are on the set or been on the set. And I don't think you would know how it's going on also. So, but that is where I would think. I don't think it'll be majorly delayed because of it and everything. But we shall see when it's all said and done. That is what's going on and everything else. So that is my opinion on the strike and how it's being handled. Again, I am with the actors on this one. And again, it also has a lot to do with AI. You know what I mean? It has to do with AI and how AI is writing scripts and how they're using AI for multiple things and your images, because if they have an image of you, say a computer image of you, and you're under contract, they could keep going on with that computer image and then use AI to say your voice, do your voice. You can see right now. I remember when they started doing the AI voice thing with Amazon Alexa, and you were able to, if you had 2 minutes of somebody talking and they gave you the words for it to talk, then they would, after that, they would, the Amazon Alexa would be able to mimic whoever's voice you're talking to. And they said that this was the way to, keep people's memories alive. Say you had a loved one that eventually passed away and you had their voice on there. And they said that's what it would be. You know what I mean? So, AI is a problem, but it's not a problem. Again, I look at it like, kind of like I look at AI kind of like everyone want to talk about the bad and stuff of it. But I look at AI like Chris Rock, back in the day when he used to look in his thing when he used to look at like crack, and he'd be like, everybody want to look at crack bad, but what about the good things about crack? You could buy a TV for $68. You know what I mean? So I go with that right there. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is, So I look at AI on the good side of everything else. Let's Mary says, there's a guy YouTube that does your daily dose of internet, and I can't do without my daily dose of Tony Teflon. Thanks for keeping the stream. Thank you so much, Mary. I truly appreciate it. We marry her. I said heart. Mary Hurl. I'm sorry. I should be able to see that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We'll be here. You know what I mean? And that's what we'll be. Bob, baby is saying, I heard HBO and Netflix, the hold up. It's going to be, I don't know exactly. I don't know the exact thing of who's holding it up. But again, they just want a piece of that money. The money is already there. The studio's just keeping it for themselves. So if the money just goes out for everybody and they just start getting it. Now, listen, I know people are looking at Hollywood actors and saying these motherfuckers rich as hell anyway. But not everybody. I mean, look at our people from our cast from. A lot of them have regular jobs, right? When we had the lady who played, I can't believe I'm forgetting people's names on here, but you know me, I usually do. When we had the lady on here who played the nurse, and I told her, I said, I gotta go, I gotta work in the morning, and she was like, I got a shift too, and she said she's still going in doing her nursing duty, right? So she has a regular job too. Not every there are a lot of people who hold regular jobs, you know what I mean? And so I cast it from, I'm sure not all of them, not everybody's Harold who can just live off that money and been in the Matrix and been working since Fame. A lot of people, this is their big shot, this show from. And this may be their only shot. I know when you see people and they're on hit shows, and from, I don't know if it can be considered a hit show. It's a hit in our eyes, but is it an actually hit show? It's not Friends. It's not Cheers. It's not The Walking Dead. It's not Game of Thrones. Not yet. Maybe. You know what I mean? But even when you look at people who are in some of these hit shows, that's it for them. Let's go through them. If you go through Game of Thrones, you go through the cast. How many of these people have actually had a substantial career compared to Game of Thrones? Really, not many of them. Maisie Williams, everyone thought she was going to blow up and everything else. She's been in a movie or two, but she ain't done nothing. Kit Harington ain't done nothing. That's why he came back with the Jon Snow show, because everything else he did sucked and flopped. That's just the bottom line. Emilia Clarke didn't do that well when she went out there. She was in a terrible, terrible, terrible Terminator movie. She was in a terrible Star Wars movie. And, not saying it's her fault. I'm just saying this is the facts. You know what I mean? When you look at Friends, how many of those people from Friends blew up after Friends? Really, none of them. You know what I mean? I think Courtney Cox might have been the most successful. Jennifer Aniston's just an icon, but and done stuff. But the rest of those friends ain't done shit. You know what I mean? And that's just where it is. You know what I mean? So when you look at all these shows, Cheers, The Jeffersons, anything, The Cosby Show, any show you want to think of that was huge. You Better Call Saul. How many people blown up there? Bob Kirk hasn't had a hit since then. It's not been that long, but he ain't had one since he tried. The other one didn't work, right? Bryan Cranston, Your Honor, is the next show he's got. It's a good show, but it's not a hit show. I like the show, but it hasn't taken off. The Sopranos. When you go back, I think only one that blew up out of The Sopranos is Edie Falco. She had Nurse Jackie out of that. But everybody else in the show, God rest James Gandolfini, he passed away. They all didn't get nothing. Paulie Walnuts and all them other guys, they got nothing, right? So when you see these actors and that they're on these hit shows, and you're like, oh, they're on these hit shows. No, they're not. This could be it for them. It could be a one and done situation. Not everybody has a hit show and then all of a sudden takes off and blows up and makes an endless amount of money. It's not the way it is. Most of them don't. Most have this one show, this one shot. Again, my friends, Christopher Scott Cerrone, he got a role when we were kids. I remember he got that role to be in Goodfellas and play Ray Liotta's character when he was young. He had a couple of films after that, but nothing really truly materialized for him. He done a couple of roles here, but he's still making bank off of that role in Goodfellas. That's still his signature role. He got that when he was a kid. Now he's a grown man, and he's still rocking with that role. So again, when that came out, I thought he was going to be the next big Hollywood star. He was in those Wow, Bebop magazines and Tiger Beat. He was in all those shits when we were little. You see him all in that shit. And now it is what it is. That was what it was. You know what I mean? I will read the comments in a second. I'm just talking right now. I'm giving my display. So don't say I don't read the comments. All right? I do. I'm busy giving my monologue here. And while I'm giving my monologue, I cannot read the comments at the same time. Look, God, let me get this stuff off my chest. All right? Jeez. So that's what I'm trying to put out there. That a lot of these actors, though you may see them on a hit show, don't think that they are set for life because of this one show. Maybe they are. And usually that happens when syndication comes and they're able to make some money off it and get paid. But in this streaming era, it seems like the studios are not allowing them to cash in on this money, and they're not getting paid like they used to get paid on shows like Seinfeld, shows like The Nanny, shows like Cheers, those things. I mean, Ted Danson's one of a million. How many hit shows does he have? He had Cheers. I think he had Beckett. I think he had another hit show. I mean, that's so rare that a guy would have 3 hit television shows, right? You don't see that happen. You see them on one show, and usually that's it. That cast for Succession. Let's see how many of those people you see after Succession in different things. They may be around for a year or two, but then you may not see the people. Look at that show, Entourage, right? Remember that dude who played Artie, the agent, the shady agent? Oh, he's so great. He's going to be this. He's going to be everything else. Where's he been? Have you seen him after Entourage? Everyone loved him. Always, everything. He's this, he's that. You don't see his ass. He don't do shit. You don't see him doing nothing. I haven't heard him in anything at all. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. You know what I mean? You can go from show to show to show. That's just the facts. You know what I mean? So in the end, you know what I mean? I think that we gotta, as me as a YouTuber, I'm not, an actor or anything like that. But I stand with them. I definitely stand with them because at any time, things can be ripped away from you where you have no say. So when you look at these people and you say, "Oh, they're rich," blah blah, don't feel bad for them. It's not the rich ones. It's that it affects. Talking about the little person, the person low on the totem pole. That's what we're talking about when dealing with this situation and all that. We're talking about that. So that's my take on the whole situation. Again, Harold is the main person on from. He is involved in the strike. Will they shoot without Harold? I don't know if they will do it. I know it'll be hard for them to do it. Can they do it? Of course, they can do it. They can use the people from Canada and they can shoot scenes that he's not in. Well, whether they do it or not, I have no idea. I do know that it doesn't affect people overseas because I know that the House of the Dragon is going on filming as like nothing is going on. So that is what it is. That is my monologue. All right, people in the chat talking all that shit. That is my monologue about the whole situation and the way I think it's going to go down, the way it's going down. And again, you have the right to your opinion. Baby says, thank you, Tony, for talking back 100. No, I appreciate you sitting here listening to me and everything else. All right. Phone lines are open. If you want to call in and say something, definitely do. What up, Wendy? In the building, rocking with us. I appreciate you being here and everything else. Edward says there's an article talking about HBO has a clause with the union. What actually does it say? What is in this clause? I don't understand it. You know what I mean? What does HBO say? So I would need to know more. You got to give me some more facts about that one. I need a little bit more than everything else. Since I just finished watching Band of Brothers. Jim has his own episode. Great actor. Band of Brothers was a good show, a mini series, I should say. I think HBO has rented out. HBO has done a fire sale for a lot of their content. I mean, they came on actively when Zazie came and took over, and started saying they're willing to sell brands. Like if you had enough money or you wanted, you could buy Lovecraft from HBO Country and do whatever you want with it. He would sell you that. Guarantee. You know what I mean? Because that's the way HBO. Because HBO they're bleeding money over there, bleeding money. They lost a shit ton of money. You know what I mean? That is just that's just the way it is, and that's just the way it goes. Thank you so much, and yes, thumbs up to everybody again. And yes, you can call in at 518-290-0848 if you want to, and I'll speak to you and everything else. But yeah, they're bleeding money over there. They're trying to get everything caught up and everything balanced and stuff. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Delicious is saying, I read somewhere that filming of season 3 from is supposed to start the 24th of this month. Have you read that anywhere? I did read that they were supposed to be filming soon, and I had not heard anything about a delay. Again, could I ask one of these actors that I'm kind of cool with what's going on? You know what I mean? I could, but I feel like I just don't want to do it right now. So we'll see. But I will see. Maybe I'll see if I can contact one of them, see exactly what's going on. Yeah, this is Zazzy. He's willing to sell everything right there. But so far they've gotten some stuff right. They've turned Max around. They've added the Discovery content to it. I think it all comes down when you're dealing with MGM and the people at MGM and MGM Plus and everything. Number one, they're owned by Amazon. That's the parent company. I think in the end, they will absorb MGM Plus and all those people might lose their job. I think they'll make it into the package and put it right into Amazon. I mean, that's what I think is going to go down. I think that's how they're going to do it. Because to me, I just don't think they're going to make enough money with the MGM app, because I don't MGM Plus app. I don't know many people that have that app. And I do believe it's that app and the fact that it's on that network right now that's actually holding the show back because not that many people have it. If this show was on Amazon right now, I think the show would be full blown right now. Already. Season 2, I think it'd be full blown. Full blown. I mean, Stranger Things level. Right now, I think it would be. You know what I mean? That's what I think. You know what I mean? So that's the way it goes. Ed is saying you're right, Don. It's because different UK union numbers. Yo, thank you very much for confirming I was right. I appreciate that. It takes a big person, to put that out there and stuff like that. And I truly appreciate it. You know what I mean? But yeah. So that's just the way it goes and everything. I just think that me personally that they're gonna get absorbed by Amazon Prime, and it's just gonna be an Amazon Prime show when it's all said and done. It's gonna suck if they do that because first they had Epix, and then Epix is MGM Plus, and then MGM Plus to Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is the second largest streaming service in the world right now, right? So I think if they're not number one, I mean they're either number one or number two, either Netflix and Amazon Prime or Prime and Netflix. Obviously, that's the way it goes. So in the end, it's going to be one of those things going down. I think that they'll probably take them out and then just absorb it into Amazon Prime. That's what I think. In the end, that's how it's going to go down. I don't have any insider information on that. I just think that's what it is because I think that Amazon. I mean, when you ask, there's so many of these streaming services. How many are you gonna have? The reason why you get the streaming service, the reason why they were invented was for you to cut the cord, right? Cut the cable cord because cable was so outrageously high. Well, now you have all these streaming networks, and though you ain't paying one lump sum, you're paying this on this day, $9 here, $9 here. In the end, you're paying the same amount you were paying for cable. I appreciate you, all right. Thank you for that. You know what I mean? So it just gets to the point. Even when I try to recommend the show to people, and I tell them it's on MBGM Plus, they're like, "What is that?" What is MGM Plus? What is this? They rather just. And then I say, "Well, you can watch it on the first season on Amazon." Oh, I got Amazon. Yeah, why? Because Amazon, if you have Prime, you get Amazon for free. Again, Amazon doesn't need to make the money on Amazon Prime. It's a different situation there with them, right? They're making money from you buying stuff. So it's better for it to be there because once it's on Amazon Prime, the ratings don't matter. If it's putting booties in the seats and making people purchase Prime subscriptions and buy from them, that's all they care about. They don't care how many people watch it. That's all just a throw-in. That's a bonus. Unlike Netflix, where they count on their numbers and their ratings, and they count on churn, and they count on having shows that keep people coming back. Netflix makes all of its money from those shows and from those subscriptions. That subscriptions for Amazon is just a bonus. That ain't shit. That ain't nothing. They don't need care about that money. It's just like Apple Plus. Apple Plus don't care about that money. That's why they're able to spend so much money on these shows on Apple and hire all these high-powered actors on Apple Plus. Because they don't need that money. All that money on that show doesn't mean anything. That's just extra revenue. They make all their money on their products. And all these other streaming services, they make a lot of their money on that stream. So that's the difference. And that's why it should be getting canceled and everything else. Now, Netflix will cancel stuff if they believe that they already have shows that are similar and they'll keep people there. You know what I mean? And they've had crazy things for canceling shows and everything else. But I think it'd be best to me if it was on Amazon, because if it's on Amazon, then you don't have to worry about that at all. They could run that shit for 10 seasons if they want on Amazon. It doesn't matter. They don't mind whatever it comes in at, because that's not where they make their general money and everything else. Let me make sure this. I know it. Sometimes I'll be here and the phone lines be messed up. Let me refresh it and stuff and everything else. All right. And all that good stuff. You know what I mean? So that's it's not a tax deduction for you. Yeah. Look how much they paid for Lord of the Rings, that Lord of the Rings series. Look how much they paid for that shit. That shit is terrible. Are they doing season 2? You goddamn right they're doing season 2. They don't care that it's terrible. They don't care because they spend so much money. I don't care. Normally they would just cut bait. If it was like that, they say this show sucks. Let's cut bait. But nope. And it got done because that Jeff Bezos at the time when he was running it was a fan of Lord of the Rings, and he just wanted to see some more of Lord of the Rings. The big nerd. He just wanted to see it, and that was it. So he said, "You're gonna, I'll pay you to make some more shit for me." And that was it. That's what he did it. You know what I mean? And but the people he got, they got those people to sign up for Prime because of that show. And if it's just 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 sign up for Prime, they're fine with that. They'll take the money. That's it. Give me the money, and they're cool with it. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. I don't care about that. They're making no money. That's just all bonus. They're just giving that stuff away for free. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is, man. That's just how they do it. You know what I mean? And so that's why when you deal with those things, to me, it would be better if they moved the MGM over there. They should have moved right there from the beginning, but we'll see. You know what I mean? I like MGM personally. I like them. I like the people working with MGM. I've been cool with a lot of them and everything else. But I think it's just a good chance that they get absorbed. That's just my opinion on it. I think it's a good chance they will get absorbed and taken over and everything else. So when is the boys back on? The boys, I just seen it. They just released some type of trailer for it for the boys for the next season. So it's not going to be too long for the boys. The Peripheral hopefully comes on soon, and hopefully Outer Range comes back. Those are two shows that I cover that I like covering too. So hopefully they come back soon. And I'm able and we watch that stuff and everything else. Right now there isn't a lot of shows to cover. I know people are telling me Silo. Obviously, we're gonna have to start covering some other shows because the from numbers obviously are dropping across the board. Of course, and my videos are dropping across the board. I still get a good amount of views, and I want to thank you all for watching. I still get more views than just about anyone. Well, I get more views than anyone who drops any from video still right now. So I truly appreciate it. You know what I mean? But again, we're gonna have to start covering other stuff too because the numbers aren't what they used to be, which you have to expect. This is not, again, that's how you know it's not Game of Thrones though. Game of Thrones, if people don't realize how big Game of Thrones was. When Game of Thrones was in between seasons, you would get sometimes almost to say 100,000 views, 150,000 views per video, even between series. And then when the series come out, you could possibly get 1 million views on a video. You know what I mean? That's how rabid that community, that fandom was, and how much they ate that stuff up, and how much they were waiting. You know what I mean? I just don't think. I think the fan base here is big, and I think the fan base will get there, but it's going to take another season. And season 3 has got to start answering some of these questions. Again, we have seen a lot of people say that they, season 2 they lost them in season 2 because they wanted a little bit more answers. And because they really didn't answer much in season 2. I'll be honestly, they really didn't answer a lot from season 2. They answered that the monsters can be killed. We've seen the monster get killed. That was that. And they gave us a bunch of other stuff that was just basically, we don't know what's going on. Tabitha is now over here in the doctor's office. And these got nightmare creatures are here. And the box is now broken. And so it's a lot of different things. No definite answers. And Victor now has a sister and everything else like this. It doesn't know. It hasn't answered everything. I would say someone said, "Yeah, I got stuck in the silo." I got stuck in Cheapo. Play Cheapo or at the 2 Silo, the same name. Listen, Silo, I heard is a good show. Apple Plus puts out quality television because they have the money to do so. Everything in Apple Plus. I haven't watched any show that hasn't been quality. When it's just straight quality, the acting, the shoots, the locations, they put it on the best quality because they have that budget to give away. I mean, Samuel Jackson. You go, hey, I love all the shows on Apple, and Apple is cheap as hell. It was like $4 a month. $4. That's it. Something like that. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Apple is and Apple took Prime's whole formula and just named it Apple and doing basically the same thing Prime did. You know what I mean? Delicious. Did I watch Severance? Oh yeah, I watched Severance. I love Severance. I have brought on again everything about Severance many a times. You know what I mean? About Severance, how I felt about the show and how great that show was. I love Severance. Right. Don't even worry about it. Says right. The purpose of a mystery box is to answer, add more mystery in season 1, episode 3. They specifically told us that the viewers were the show from will not hold your hands. Figure it out. You know, you have to give something now, not not something, not a hint at something. You got to answer questions, and that's just the bottom line. You got to answer some of these questions. Now, I say, you know, if you have questions in season 1, half of those questions should have been answered in season 2. Half of them. And then you move on. You start new questions in season 2, and then you have the other half, and then you answer the next half in season 3, and then you start answering some of the questions from season 2, and then you keep going on like that. It gets to the point where you don't want stuff to become plot holes. You know, Game of Thrones did that. That was the problem with Game of Thrones. They left too many plot holes, too many things they addressed. You know, you bring up the prince that was promised. You bring up the story of Azor Ahai, and yet you never show anything like that in the show at all. You just go away from it, and you make Arya be the one who kills the Night King specifically, and come out and say that you felt that Jon Snow doing it would be too, it would be too, everyone would have got it, right? Too cliche. So they wanted to go against the grain and do something else and have Arya be the one who killed the Night King, right? But that didn't set up the plot holes. You had the whole time, it left the plot holes. You had the Night King staring at Jon. You had Jon staring at the Night King. You had him raising his arms at Jon and the whole undead. And in the end, when the Night King went to fight, Jon Snow went to fight the Night King bitched out and just raised the dead around him and then walked away. Like he wasn't. The Night King had the biggest sword you ever seen in your life on his back, and he never even unsheathed it in the last season. Go back and look. He never pulled his sword off his back. When he went to pull his sword off his back, that's when Arya came around and jumped and he grabbed Arya by the neck. That's the closest he got. He never. And the whole thing about it, which was so stupid about it, was that they switched the Night King actor to the stunt double who played Sir Arthur Dayne, who was the dual-wielding swordsman who fought Ned Stark. So you had a guy. Why did you change the actor to a guy who's a dual-wielding swordsman, who knows how to do all these swords work, and not even give him a chance to use it? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me when you do things like that. If you hire Ron Jeremy for your movie, he's got to pull out his dick. Why else you hiring him? You ain't hiring him for his acting ability. If you got him in the movie, that's what you're bringing him. That's what you bring him in there for, right? So why would you switch to a dual-wielding swordsman and not let him pull out his sword? It just didn't make any sense, and it's had left too many plot holes. I mean, you had the whole Azor Ahai thing, right, from Stannis in season 2, and you don't follow it through. So that's what worries me about From, that if they open up too many of these plot holes, I don't want them to have plot holes, and they may not be able to come back around and fix it. You know what I mean? So that's why I like them to fix things quick and everything else, so you don't have to worry about it and everything else. And that's it. And that's it. Now, listen, I'm just giving an example, and that's it. Don't give me the gross sign. Like, ain't gonna do with me, goddamn it. I'm just telling you, give you an example, and that's what it is. So I would like them to address some of these things already, and just say exactly certain things is going on. You ain't gotta show the big bad in season 2. No one's saying anything like that. You don't have to do that. You know what I mean? You ain't got to do that at all. You know what I mean? It's not the way it is. I'm just saying you got to start giving something up. Like you could start saying like, where the power coming from? You could have gave that up. You could have gave a hint to where the power was coming. They gave no hint. You had Tabitha dig a hole to get to the power lines to figure out that there's no lines are connected to nothing. So how's the town getting power? You could have gave a hint of how they're getting some type of power in there. That really didn't lead anywhere. She dug that hole and just to find Victor down there in the place, and then Jade searched the tellers and figure out some Akui kids that came out later. There was no Akui kids in season one. You got away from the power line situation. The whole reason why she went there was to find out where the power was coming from, and they got away from that whole plot line of finding out where the power came from. No one cares about that, right? You need hear anything about the power. They ain't talk anything to do. They ain't say shit about the power at all, right? The power is just gone. Now we're just talking about the punnels and the monsters are sleeping down here, Kui. The whole purpose was the power. Where the power coming from? You still didn't figure that shit out. So it's things like that that I'm saying that I would like them, me personally, to finish and address. Like, get this power line thing. Well, where the goddamn power come? That was the whole mission. Don't try to sidestep it and divert my attention from it. Don't bait and switch me with the power lines. Divert my attention with the tunnels. I'm still remembering about the power lines. I don't know where the power comes. You know what I mean? That's me personally. I don't know how y'all feel. That's why I feel. And that's just what it is. So certain things like that. Now they may never address that. Maybe they'll address it later on. You may never know or anything, but it's things like that. Ray says, yeah, the power is magic. And the story. It's not magic, bro. I don't know if you're being sarcastic with that. You could be. I can guarantee you that the power is not magic. I can guarantee you that there's no magic in this whole place. There ain't no magic in it. It's not. It's not. Has nothing to do with. Nothing. So let's put it up there. He said straight up. The power is not important to me. The rope was explained already, but other than that, it's peachy. Listen, if it doesn't mean anything to you, and there's people that have imaginary power and it's able just to come out, and you don't care about where it's coming from, that's fine. That's fine that you would that's the way you feel. You know what I mean? That's fine. Death Shadow Shinobi said they're following the lost form. Let's not. Let's hope not, because I mean it got where it was going, lost, but it didn't wrap up well. Right? Sticking the landing is the hardest thing to do. Right? Whether you're a gymnast, where the term comes from, you can do all the tricks and you can do all that and you can jump around, but when it comes down to it, you got to plant 2 feet, bend your knees, and not take a hop. All right, you got to stick that landing. You got to put a Kerry Strug in there, even with a fucked up foot, and land on 1 foot. Kerry Strug win the gold medal for the United States. So remember that little Kerry Strug. Remember Kerry Strug win the gold medal for the goddamn United States in that. Stick the landing. Will they be able to stick the landing? We'll see if they're able to do that. Let's get to the point where they can stick that landing, right? And everything else. Death Shadow Shinobi says, I don't think the power was explained at all. It didn't. They didn't explain shit about the power. They sideswiped you with the power. We know that she went down there to do it, and then all of a sudden she was not able. They just said, oh, the monsters sleep here. Fuck those power lines. Oh shit, where the power lines come from? Where the power lines come from? Oh, the monsters down here. Oh, that's it. What up to Jennifer D's in the building rocking with us right now? Purple Alzay says Frank brought the rope to Boyd. What rope are we talking about here? Yeah, what rope are we talking about? I don't know what rope we're talking about. You guys, who's Frank? Carla Way sticking with the pointy end. I always do. Always do, and that's correct. I got love. I don't want y'all to think I love Macy Williams. I do. Don't. I mean, I don't. I was just trying to make a point earlier about these TV actors not all of them are rich and famous and everything else like that. That's the only reason why I brought her name up. But I brought up a bunch of other actors' names too that were stars for that time. And then you see him. Like I said, I remember, man. Am I allowed to say it? I will say it like this because I guess I can't prove it, and I don't want to get bagged up for saying anything. But there was an actress who looked pretty much like the actress who played Punky Brewster, looked just like her, and she was going to New York University at the time as person. She looked just like the actress who played Punky Brewster. And I sat in West 4th Street and smoked weed with this person who looked just like her. Smoked weed with them, you know what I mean? And they were just chilling, hanging out. Even after this person looked like the person who had the hit show. Had really, really big top, really was really chest heavy, top heavy, and everything else, people, man. People are people, my friend, this dude I knew, Patrick Dempsey, his name was, and he was in a show called, what is it, The Guys Next Door? Is that what it is? The Guys Next Door? It's an old show from back in the day. Guys Next Door. I think that. Let me see his picture right now. Yeah, I think that's it. Let me see if this is it. This looks like. Let me see the stars. If this is his show, Dominic Orlando, those guys, Rob Schreiber. I don't see his name up here. He changed his name for Hollywood purposes. His name is Patrick Dempsey. God damn it. Let me see if this is him in this photo. Yeah, that's his ass. Yeah, right there. Patrick J. Dancy. I told you. That's him right there. Oh, that's him right there. Let me pull this out. I'll pull this up right now. He's from around my way. He was such a bully too. Such a bully, this bastard. This right here. So if you look at the picture here, right here, this is The Guys Next Door. This came out in the 90s, I guess. This black dude right here. You see his name. I told you his name before I even came here. Patrick J. Dancy. Right here. This motherfucker. He's from around my way. Right here. You know what I mean? And I remember when he got that, when he got that show. I remember when he got it. You know what I mean? I remember when he got the show, and he's such a fucking bully, that dude. He's older than me. He was my older brother's friend and stuff. He has a brother named Carl, too. An older brother named Carl Dancy. Oh, he was such a bully, that motherfucker. But I'm saying, here's a guy who I knew who had this show. You know what I mean? Patrick J. Dancy was born July 18th, 1970, Long Island, New York. He's actor known for Family Matters, S1 So, and The Guys Next Door. And that's it. He was in Family Matters. He's SM1. He's done a couple of shows and everything else. He lived in wherever they're saying he's from, born. It's not where he's from. He's from Palmanac Projects, all right? And if you go ask him, and you ask him where the hell he's from Palmanac Projects. That's where the hell he's from. and that's it. Why am I so goddamn close to the screen? Change that. But yeah, again, you see him in a couple of things. You know what I mean? Like I said, I remember when he first got the role and everything. He used to date that chick from Family Ties, the blonde haired chick. He was dating her. I remember he would bring her around the way and shit. Alex P. Keaton's daughter, the youngest one, whatever her name, I can't remember her name now. Is it Jamie Worther? Something, but the chick he was dating her, the chick from Family Ties, and he would bring her around the way and try to perp with her around the way, like he was somebody special. You know what I mean? This motherfucker, right? This motherfucker, he used to bring her around the way like he's somebody special. You know what? You know what I'm saying? You know that actor who played the hell Carlton? Not Carlton. He was Vanessa's boyfriend. Well, let me see if I can find his ass. What was the guy who played Vanessa's boyfriend? Vanessa's boyfriend in the Cosby Show. What does that mean? What was his name? You know what I'm talking about? What the hell is that actor's name who played Vanessa's boyfriend in the Cosby Show? He was in a bunch of other shit too. I can't think of his name also. What was his name? Roberto. That motherfucker Roberto. That was his name. Let me see if I can find this shit real quick. Let me see something. That motherfucker right there. This motherfucker. This is him. This motherfucker right here. Let me show you this motherfucker right here. Where the hell is his ass? There he is. This motherfucker right here. You know now you know what I'm talking about. You seen this motherfucker, right? Right here. He played Roberto in the Cosby Show. He's been in a bunch of other stuff. Let me tell you this month. I was in 7th grade. I was dating this chick, Tisha, from Palmanac Projects. And me and Tisha were, it was one of my first girlfriends. And she left me for this motherfucker right here. She left me for this motherfucker. I remember she said, I'm dating Roberto. She didn't call this nigga by his regular. I'm dating Roberto. Fuck you, Roberto. This motherfucker took my girl from me in 7th grade. This bastard ass bastard. This bastard. I can see he's got a similar look to me. You know what I mean? You gotta see he's from Brooklyn, this motherfucker. I remember she left me for this bitch ass. I wanted to kill his ass, boy. I was like, I'm gonna catch this dude. Can never catch him. We used to actually we're out there and kind of catch him and kill that motherfucker. We're gonna kill him. Yeah, as much as a 7th grade is gonna kill somebody. Yeah, I was after this motherfucker, boy. I was after his ass. This motherfucker Roberto. Took my girl, fuck you. Took Tisha from me. I'll never forget that shit, man. Never forget it, homie. No, we got it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Then you hit up Roy Jones. Yeah, I took Roy Jones' girlfriend. I did. I bagged Roy Jones Jr. girl right from his ass. That's because he's acting like a little bitch. Had no choice. I had to do it. You know what I mean? Definitely she had a type. You can see we similar. It's not that different. If I took my hat off, I'd probably look exactly the same. You know what I mean? That's just what it is and everything else. You know what I mean? But yeah, again, that was my neighborhood where I grew up, and it just seemed to be in this area of Queens, in this area of Kew Garden, Queens. It seemed to be where all these, a lot of, people who had talents to be inside the television business and all that congregated for some reason. It seemed a lot of people came out of that area and stuff and all that good stuff. He is a bald-headed punk, that punk ass Roberto. Didn't even tell me that nigga's real name. I didn't even Roberto. I don't give a fuck about Roberto. Roberto. And everything else. But yeah, again, that's so in the end, the point being, when it comes down to it with the Screen Actors Guild War, is that let's stick. I can't tell you to be with, but I would ever go with the people inside of the actors. I gotta back them and everything. And everything else. Delicious saying, Tony, did you ever watch a German show called Dark? I do not. I never watched Dark. I think I've heard of it and everything, but I haven't watched it and everything else. Peter Roberto probably watches all your videos. He probably does that, bastard. I bet. No, he had a pretty good career himself. He's done pretty good. I think Shaman Moore, I think he had that. Shamar Moore came and took a lot of his roles. I think he would have had those roles if Shamar Moore didn't come out. I think Shamar Moore came out, more physically built and everything else, and got a lot of his roles. I think he was on that because they're the same look. It's all the same look, and I think he got those roles because he's a little bigger and everything else, and all that good stuff. I it's hard for me to watch subtitle shows. It really is. I don't know if I could do it. I don't really get into only other country shows I got into little were kung fu flicks, and that was it. You know what I mean? Because of the kung fu, I didn't really care what they said. I just wanted to see the kung fu when I was little. But anything else, I wasn't really about it and stuff, and all that good stuff and everything. All right, so all right, let's put Julie on there. She's saying, has anyone talked to Phil missing him? I haven't talked to Phil. Again, I've said it. I'm not going to go into Phil's business. But Phil's going through some personal things right now. And as soon as he is done with his personal stuff, I'm sure he'll be back on stream, rocking with us as always. You know what I mean? But gonna give him the time to do whatever he has to do to get through what he needs to get through. You know what I mean? We always send love to Phil. Again, Phil is a host on this channel, meaning that I don't have to send him a link to hop on. He can just hop on anytime he wants. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? So anytime he wants, he can hop on. He's always welcome. Obviously, the show will never be the same without him. We need Phil. We love Phil, and we can't wait for him to return. But we need Phil to be totally in the mindset that he wants to do it, and he's ready to come back and get busy and everything else. So much love to Phil as always. You know what I mean, and hopefully that he'll get that going and everything else. Candy Rain. Are you talking about Soul for Real? Candy Rain? Are we talking about Soul for Real? Are we saying Candy Rain, Soul for Real? It seems like Tony had one too many. I've been drinking. All thing I drank is water. That's it. That's all. I'm trying to tell you, I'm in training right now. Only thing I'm drinking is water, and that's it. We in training right now. Training mode. We in the gym 5 days a week right now. So we ain't doing anything but working out, and that's just where you go. That's just all it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're doing. We'll reveal the body and maybe I know Candy Rain. I got you. I know it's joke. I'm just playing with you. We'll reveal the work the progress maybe in December. Maybe 6 months we'll do no. It's starting to turn to OnlyFans and shit. We'll see. We'll see what's going on and everything else. But it's hard work. It's hard work. It's hard work. We're working hard. Believe you me, working hard. 2 hours in the gym 5 days a week. Hard work, dedication. You know what I mean? Hard work and dedication, man. That's all we're doing. Putting in that work and everything else. That's the way it's gonna be and everything else, So that is what it is. All right. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm gonna end this stream on the hour right now. Right, and we'll do an hour. And because this one topic again, I'll be back tomorrow with LMR. We'll have the phone lines open, and we will talk about from Strictly and the predictions and the theories and everything else. We're going to do all that tomorrow. This was just me making up the stream I didn't give you on Sunday, talking about the strike and seeing if it's doing everything else. And To Grow For You says she's on her weight loss journey as well. I'm not. I'll say I'm on that same journey with you. I'm not truly trying to lose a lot of weight. Me personally, I'm going to lose some pounds only because it's just the way it's going to fall off. Just because of the way it all goes. So I will be losing some weight, but let's say it's a journey. We're on the same journey together. Let's say that. We're saying we're getting having a journey together. You know what I mean? and all that. So let's keep this journey going. You stick to your goals. I'll stick to my goals. Let's everybody do that. Say good up tonight to everybody up in here. I will see you tomorrow with the Lady LMR, and we'll do it like we normally do. And until that time, you know what it is.
Extraterrestrial.